I'd like to welcome to the show the one, the only Trasee Lynn, the voice behind the Reckoning. How you doing, Trasee?
Doing pretty good, Doc. How you doing today?
All right, I'm doing great. Give
Good to
us
hear.
give us a little history of Trasee Lynn. I mean, how did you get involved with music?
Um, wow, that's like a loaded question, right? I grew up around music. Like nobody else in my family except me
Right,
is a musician, which was kind of strange because most musicians growing up they have family or somebody that's a musician, right? Sorry, can't
right,
speak. Um, I grew up with family listening to music, like
right,
Elton John, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Queen,
right.
um,
Queen.
stuff like that.
Right.
Brian May. and, you know, um, so it kind of started there. And I got, when I was like, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, um, I heard Alice Cooper
Uh,
and I went, what is that?
right,
And I was, going through a time in my life because I had a pretty turbulent, traumatic life. And at that time, it was like, I remember I was babysitting somebody and they had this massive record collection. So I just started digging through all these records and I found this Alice Cooper record and threw it on. And I was sitting there listening to this album going, this just saved my life.
right,
Like literally saved my life because even at 12 years old, um, it wasn't a good time in my life.
right.
And as soon as I heard Alice Cooper, it gave me something to live for. And it was really weird. And I mean, of course, it started that whole thing where I wanted to sing and stuff when I was a little girl. And
Right.
I heard Elton John, I heard Crocodile Rock, Elton John, and, begged my mom to buy me one of those Disney record players and stuff like that, singing a
Yeah.
hairbrush in the bedroom, right?
Right.
And I always wanted to sing. But, I didn't have the, I don't know, advantage of family support or whatever
Right.
my whole life. So I didn't have that boost or anything. And like I said, it was a pretty traumatic upbringing, growing up and stuff. And I've been on my own since I was 12 years old, and I had to fight to survive.
Right.
And I did, and I overcame many, many challenges that I'm
That's
not
good.
going to get into details, but
Well,
you know,
that's like I always say all the time, and I'm sure you've heard it on the show. Music is a powerful tool. It's a powerful
absolutely,
medicine. It
it
can
is.
get you from the lowest of times and to the greatest of times. I mean, it's just so
Absolutely.
powerful.
Music does save lives.
Oh yeah, I
Absolutely.
I agree.
So that's kind of where it started is with Alice Cooper. And, through the years and stuff like that, I was like wanting to be a singer, and then I wanted to be a drummer, and then I wanted to play guitar, and then I play bass, and I want to do this. And, now I can play pretty much anything.
Okay, are you're self taught through
Yeah,
like drums and guitar and all that stuff?
everything. Yeah, I'm self taught.
Now, are you playing in the Reckoning, or are you just singing?
I don't play an instrument in the reckoning. No, I just singing and I'm writing all the lyrics.
Okay,
And when the reckoning started, I was playing my acoustic guitar, Selena, for many years, writing my own songs and just playing like that.
right.
And then when I met Gordzilla, the bass player, many years ago, he listened to what I was writing and he said, "You've got something there." He said, "Let's take this and let's make it heavier."
Right.
Okay. So that's kind of where it all started. But in the beginning, most of the songs that were written off of what I had already wrote on my acoustic.
Right.
So I pretty much built the whole band, and I created the band and the name of the band out of a tragic situation that people don't know about this,
Right.
right? And it was not kind of, it was the fork in the road.
Right.
It was do or die. It was
Well, I'm glad you're
pick
still
up.
here with us.
Thank you. It was a pivotal moment in my life where it was like, pick up your guitar or die.
Right. Well,
picked up my guitar.
you know, it just goes to show that music can help you out in the toughest of
Oh,
times.
it certainly does. I mean, if I didn't have music, no, I wouldn't be here. I mean, just no.
Right.
So,
You guys also contributed a song to the Aid for LA. Also,
absolutely.
and
Yeah, we did contribute to that. That was an honor to be included in the Aid for LA compilation. That was it was mind blowing actually how many bands
I know.
contributed to that. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that was crazy.
I haven't looked at it for a while, but I know it was close to 300.
Yeah,
So,
that last time I checked, it was around
yeah.
300. Yeah, it was great.
So now you guys have this new song out called Anarky Academy.
We
How did you
do.
come up with that? It's kind of it that Anarchy is kind of a pretty hardcore punk type style for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it's kind of a weird story because a couple of months ago, I was just sitting there and I'm just doing whatever. And it just popped into my head. It was like Anarchy Academy. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I
Right.
don't know what it means.
Right.
And it just kind of popped in and, oh, okay, sure, whatever. Thoughts come, thoughts go, right? And a couple of months later, I'm thinking, you know what? I think that's a good song title.
Right.
And it just kind of progressed from there. I started writing little pieces of lyrics here and there and here and there. And Robert, the guitar player, wrote the music for it. And when he wrote the music for it, the lyrics just went boom.
Yeah.
And it came out like that. And I'm like, you know what? This is like Anarky Academy. This is the school of anarchy, and
Right.
it's all about coming together
Yeah.
and joining together, join the revolution, right?
Right.
And everybody, what I want is like everybody to come together through music.
Right.
Let's join
Exactly.
together.
Yeah.
There is so much division going on in the world. And when we put out that song, the thought was let's try and get people to join together to just sing the chorus, sing
Right.
along.
Right.
You know what I mean? And have some fun because it's a fun song. I mean,
Right.
it's a very different vibe from the Rekkening's last EP, which was a long time ago in 2019.
Right.
Payback's a bitch. That was a very heavy EP,
Right.
and we've kind of had like a roller coaster ride to get to where the ride stops and we're like, okay, we know where we're going now, you
Right.
know? And Anarky Academy is driving the band that way. Like I rebranded the whole band in the sense where the new logo,
Right.
the new song, the new sound, the new players, everything. And I wanted to do it in a way where I don't know how to say it, like just more of a good time.
Right.
More of a good time. Like when people come to our shows, I want people to have a good time. I want to see kids at my show having a good time. I want to see people dancing and moshing and singing along and having a good time.
Right.
That's what I want.
Right.
And I find that Anarky Academy really projects that vibe.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it does. It's got like a full throttle punch to it. It's a happy song. I mean, it's something you could dance to, you could mosh to or whatever you want to do. But
Yeah.
it's a very cool tune. I know when you
Thank
sent it
you.
over to me, you were like, well, this ain't very metal, but check it out anyway. So I did, and I liked it. And I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome.
Right
So,
on. Thank you.
and the thing is right now, I have noticed a explosion of female artists. I
Yes.
mean, with you, with KK from the Rise and Fall,
Yeah.
you got Waiting Abigail now. I mean,
Yeah.
the females are just ruling it. I
Oh,
mean, you
yeah.
guys are
More women
bringing it.
on stage. More women on stage.
I mean, you guys are just
Absolutely.
You guys are ruling the road right now. I mean, it's awesome. I think it's great.
Right on.
So, what do you enjoy most about performing with the Rekkening?
What do I enjoy most about performing with the Reckoning? Well, I just love being on stage. I love being a front person. I
Right,
love getting the audience going and feeding off of each other,
right,
you know, feeding off of that energy and feeling that surge, like that high you get, that energy you get on stage.
right,
And that's what I love the best. And the lineup that we have now, we've been at this for 16 years. Me and Gord are the main members of the Reckoning. We started it.
right,
He's the longest standing member. And with Robert, he's been with us for, I think, 3 or 4 months.
right.
And Philip, our new drummer, he's been with us a couple of months. With the new lineup now, we finally have a band.
Yeah, something solid.
Yeah, you know what I
Right,
mean? There's nobody like fighting against anything.
right.
We're all working together as a team. And like I always say, teamwork makes the dream work,
That's it.
you
Yeah, I
know?
mean, you have to have teamwork in a band. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
if you don't, there's the door. See you later.
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, we've had a few of those.
Oh, I've seen
you
many
know?
bands go through a few of
Oh,
those.
yeah. I mean, you kind of have to go through all this crap before you get to where you want to be, right? But now we have a really good lineup, and everybody is putting in 100% on their end, and it's really, really cool.
Right. So, besides the single Anarky Academy,
Yeah.
what are you guys working on, a new EP or a new album or anything like that?
Yeah. We're back in the studio April 20th.
Oh, okay,
We
cool.
have another single coming out.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I'm not, I've kind of come up with this formula where I'm not telling you what it's called until it comes out. I did
Okay.
that with Anarky too. I just kept saying, "Hey, we're releasing a new song,"
Right.
you know, and I'm doing it kind of in a sense. It's almost conceptual what I'm doing here,
Okay.
and you'll get it. You'll get it when it comes out.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, we're doing that, and then I think in June or July, we're going back again to do this one. We're not doing a video with it. We might do a lyric video with this next one.
Okay.
And then June or July, we're going to go back to studio again, do another single with a video again.
Okay.
And then we're going to put the three together as an EP.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of tells a story then.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Storytelling.
Right. What do you hope that people that listen to the Reckoning, what do you hope that they get from your music
um, Connection.
connection?
Yeah. I
Okay.
hope that people feel connected to the music and that they feel, um, like I did when I found that Alice Cooper record.
Right.
Like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? And I'm still a fan today. And I've met Alice, and he's one of the nicest people
Oh,
in the
yeah.
industry.
Yeah. He
And
is.
he is. And I've met him like 3 times, and I've been on stage with him and stuff like that. And very, very cool. And I want to just like have people feel a good energy and
Right.
a connection.
Right. Very cool. So, I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you this. What's your take on the music scene now compared to when you were growing up? And what's your thoughts on AI?
Wow. Okay. Well, um, first of all, it's complete opposite.
Right.
It's completely opposite of what it was back in the day. Back in the day, you know, it was like, first of all, if you wanted a record label or somebody to hear your music, you had to like, get out a little 8-track recorder and
Right.
figure out how to do it and then
Right.
make a cassette and then, mail it to the label and wait for a phone call and
Right.
and stuff like that. It was more exciting, I think. It was more exciting and there was like, I don't know, there was just a lot more how do you put it? Like, competition, yeah,
Yeah.
but good competition
Right.
and healthy competition. Yeah, there was some stuff going on, man. It was like, 60s, 70s, 80s, all that,
Oh
90s
yeah.
even too. It was crazy. But, now it's like everything's digital, everything's online. I mean, even trying to go out and just poster around is not the same as it used to be anymore.
Right.
Venues get closed down because people that buy condos put in noise complaints because of bands playing in clubs that have been playing in these clubs for 30, 40 years.
Right.
Now all of a sudden condo owners have a say in this, right? Like,
That's crazy. It
yeah, and I mean,
we've had
that's
a few venues around my area too that have done that.
yeah,
You
it's
sound
around the
ordinance got to
world.
cut it at 10 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the good thing about having the internet and the digital reach and all that is like, look, I'm talking to you,
Right.
right? We can get this out there a lot
Right.
easier
Right.
and stuff like that. But in some sense, I feel like there's a disconnection,
Right.
not between you and me talking right now, but just that people are going to be like, I don't know, I'll watch it later.
Right.
There's
Exactly.
so much going on the internet all the time that the ADD goes insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can't keep up, right?
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, this generation will never know what it's like to stand outside a record store,
Yeah,
to
it's
buy tickets to a concert, to buy your favorite album that you've been waiting 6 weeks for it to come out.
yeah, yeah,
They will never know the excitement that we went through.
and that's sad.
I
It's
know.
really, really sad.
I know.
It is because it was such an amazing time in the music
Exactly.
world. It really was.
Right. And that's like
You
you
know,
see, this younger generation, you see them with like Metallica and Led Zeppelin shirts on and stuff. Okay, that's cool. Name 3 songs.
exactly.
And they can't.
Yeah. No,
You know.
no, they can't.
Or tell me
No.
something about that band. I don't
And I
know.
mean, they're buying those from souvenir thrift stores that aren't even like
Right.
legit anyways, right?
Right.
So
Right. Uh,
yeah, and I mean the other thing too nowadays with all the streaming platforms and yeah, it's just the amount of hours you have to spend pushing to get somebody to listen to your song
right.
so you can get more than zero point 0.1 cent
I
is
think that
just
is absolutely insane what they do to you artists.
it's insulting.
Oh, I agree 100%.
It's insulting. In that regard, it's really screwed up, but
Right.
it is what it is. And unfortunately, we're kind of like, have no other way. That it's been made that way,
Right.
You
Right.
have no other way.
And I agree too, because like
Excuse
we
me.
won't mention any streaming platforms, but you got to get 1 million streams to make $5. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
and I think it's stupid because you artists work hard, the writing, the music, the practices, the money on gear, and everything else
yeah,
to get paid that, and I think
yeah.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the thing nowadays is like if you're in the music industry to make money, you're in the wrong industry,
Right? Exactly.
right?
Right. Unless you're on a major tour. And
Yeah,
I've known some people that have been on tour and they're like, there's just no money out there anymore.
no, yeah,
Because, I mean, I don't know if they're still doing it, but I know some of the venues were taking a percentage of the band's merch sales, which I think is wrong.
um, yeah. You're not touching my
100%.
merch sales. Like
You know, I mean,
there's a lot of sorry, there's a lot of like they don't do that here,
right,
but what they do is pay to play, which is like you have to pay to rent the venue and put on your own show,
right,
or you have to sell a certain amount of tickets.
right,
And if you don't sell that certain amount, you don't play. And it's like I refuse now to do that. I've found some venues that are like offer the free venue. I put on the show, I get the bands, I do everything. They don't take nothing from us.
Well, that's good.
Right? I found a couple things like that. I found a few production companies that are in the punk scene here in Montreal that are great.
Right.
And they are, they're booking us to play and we don't have to pay anything and we will get a split of the door.
Right.
And as far as our merch goes, nobody touches your merch sales.
Yeah. Because
That's where you make your money.
We've had some venues here in the States that were doing that.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. They were taking, you figure that band drove 200 miles to come play at your venue,
Yeah.
and that merch money could be food, it could be gas, whatever.
Yeah.
Why take a percentage of it?
No, that should be illegal. Like, if anybody even said that to me, oh well, we're gonna book your band, but we're gonna take a percentage of your merch, I'd be like, no,
There's
I
no
don't
way to
give
do
a
it.
shit what freaking place I'm playing.
Right.
No,
Right.
no way.
So, you got any last words for listeners?
I mean, just
Well, let me ask you this: Do you
okay.
have any inspirational words for up and coming artists?
Inspirational words for up and coming artists. Just do what you love and be true to yourself. The rest will follow.
Right.
Don't be stressed out about stuff with music because, yeah, there's going to be things that stress you out, but there's always going to be somebody there to help you out if you ask.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. And a piece of advice that somebody close to me said one day is like, it only takes one yes. So never give up.
Right.
Never give up.
Never give it up. Trasee Lynn, where can people find your information about the Rekkening?
We have an official website, therekkening.com. So you can go there. Everything's on there. Otherwise, just Google the Rekkening, Rekkening.
All right, Trasee Lynn. Hey, thanks a million for coming on the Metal Shop 101. Always a great pleasure to be spinning the Rekkening.
Right on.
Make sure you guys check out Anarky Academy. You can't go wrong with it. It's definitely a rocking tune. You go out and support these bands. All right, Trasee.
Thanks. Metal Shop 101 rocks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Doc.
All
Take
right,
care.
Trasee. Bye-bye.
Bye.